The 10th benefit of working within the NHS is maternity and paternity with shared parental leave benefit. Every pregnant employee is entitled to maternity leave, irrespective of how long they've worked for your organization. Occupation allowance is actually based on the numbers of years you've actually worked for the organization. So depending on what the policy states with regards to occupational allowances will determine if you're entitled to receive this pay. If you qualify for occupational maternity pay, this is what you'll be getting. For the first 8 weeks of your absence, you receive full pay, less any statutory maternity pay or maternity allowance. For the next 18 weeks, you receive half pay plus any statutory maternity pay or maternity allowance. Then for 13 weeks, you would only receive statutory maternity pay or statutory maternity allowance you're entitled to under the scheme. And for the last 13 weeks, it will be nil pay, so you're not getting paid. So the full payments that you receive if you qualify for working within the NHS is 39 weeks of pay, which I feel is very generous. To be entitled to receive occupational maternity leave, you would have been working for an NHS organization, maybe more than one, before the 11th week before your child is due to be born. So you should have had 12 months of continuous employment with either one or more NHS organization as a permanent member of staff at least 11 weeks before your due date. To be able to claim contractual maternity pay as well, you must intend to return to work for the same employer or another NHS employer for a minimum period of at least 3 months after your maternity leave has ended. You would also need to ensure that you've submitted your MAT B1 form at least 15 weeks before your baby is due to be born to be able to claim your occupational allowance. You can decide to return after your maternity leave to your same job, or you can now apply to another NHS organization and start working there. As long as you work there for 3 months after your maternity leave, you do not have to pay back your occupational allowance. If you do not return to work at least 15 months after you started your maternity leave, you will be required to pay back the occupational allowance that you were paid while you were on maternity leave. So you need to ensure you're ticking the right boxes when you're filling out your maternity leave form. So fill out to say, I'll be returning, but I'll be returning for at least 3 months after my maternity leave so that I can get paid your occupational leave. Or if you're not going to be returning, you say, I would not be returning, and just tick it so you only get paid your SMP. For paternity leave, if you're a father or a partner or the partner of someone who is pregnant or you're adopting through surrogacy, you may be eligible to receive paternity leave for 1 or 2 weeks. Your paternity pay will be determined by HMRC. So this is a standard pay that you are entitled to. You can also be entitled to shared parental leave and shared leave as well. The statutory paternity pay rate is 90% of your weekly earnings, whichever is lower. With regards to shared parental leave, as an eligible couple, you'll be able to access the maximum joint entitlement of occupational pay as follows. So for the first 6 weeks of absence, you receive full pay. Full pay is inclusive of shared parental pay. The total receivable cannot exceed full pay. For the next 18 weeks of absence, you will receive half pay of the full pay plus any shared parental leave payments. The total receivable cannot exceed full pay. For the next 13 weeks, you will only receive shared parental leave payments that you're entitled to under the statutory schemes. And for the final 13 weeks, you receive no pay. So this is quite similar to the maternity leave allowance, apart from the fact that for the first 6 weeks, the difference between the maternity and the shared parental leave is that the first weeks are what is different. In maternity pay is 8 weeks of full pay, but in shared parental leave is 6 weeks of full pay. I still think this is a very generous shared parental leave payment scheme by the NHS.